I don't know what the hell's going on with women's tennis. Actually, I do have a theory. We'll get to that in just a second. But here we sit again after another tennis player goes through a tough loss, turning themselves into a victim after the fact. The poor, pitiful me mentality. Earlier this week, American tennis player Shelby Rogers, she was bounced from the US Open. Now, do you care? I damn sure don't care. I don't watch tennis. According to Shelby Rogers, though, 9 million people will care because that's the amount of death threats and abusive messages that she predicted that she's going to receive on social media after her loss. Over the weekend, Sloane Stevens, she said that she received 2,000 abusive messages after her loss. I guess Shelby Rogers felt the need to one-up Sloane Stevens. And if you're going to one-up someone, might as well go all the way with it. Don't say you'll receive 2001 messages or 10,000. Why not just go all the way to 9 million? Now, obviously, Shelby Rogers is exaggerating here. But the number of social media messages that she will receive, that's not the point. There seems to be an epidemic in women's tennis. Hell, there seems to be an epidemic in women's sports in general. We don't hear these complaints from men. I guarantee you, LeBron James receives more threats and abusive messages on social media in 24 hours than Shelby Rogers will receive all year. I never hear LeBron James complain about it. Likely because he's too busy poisoning his followers with social justice garbage. But either way, we don't seem to have this problem with male athletes. Female athletes, on the other hand, negative attention on social media seems to be a real problem for them. Naomi Osaka announced the other day that she's going to take a break from tennis, and I actually support this decision. After her meltdown at that press conference last month, it was clear to me that Naomi Osaka has no business being in the public spotlight right now. There is somewhat of a trend going on, at least in women's tennis. After losing, you turn yourself into a victim. Break down at the podium, get teary-eyed talking about all the abuse that you're going to receive on social media. It's weird, though. I didn't hear any of these complaints from Shelby Rogers on Saturday. I didn't hear any complaints from her on Sunday. She was all smiles and laughs then. She was all good after she defeated Ashley Barty, the best tennis player in the world. Everything was all good. But Shelby Rogers said even winning is tough. It's tough mentally, knowing that I have to follow up that win, that performance, with another win. And if I don't, I will be criticized. Yeah, it's kind of how it works. No one ever said the world was fair. If you're a professional athlete, pressure is part of the job. Now, I'm not denying that athletes take abuse on social media. I'm not even saying that it's right. It's not. But athletes have been subject to abuse from the public since the beginning of time. Not just athletes, public figures in general, politicians, celebrities, social media influencers, content creators on YouTube. If you put yourself in the public sphere, you are subjecting yourself to abuse. But you have to take the good with the bad, the positive comments with the negative comments. Just like with anything else, there are pros and cons. If I don't want to be subjected to abuse, I'll just delete this YouTube channel. I damn sure don't mind the abuse when YouTube sends me that check on the 21st of every month. Shelby Rogers wasn't complaining about social media when everyone was singing her praises over the weekend for beating Ashley Barty. But as soon as she lost, it's right back to the victim mentality. Shelby Rogers said that she wished social media didn't exist. Now, I couldn't agree with her more. Social media is a disease, but I found this kind of hypocritical by Shelby Rogers. If I came on here and I complained to you guys every week about YouTube, but I continued to cash their checks, wouldn't that be hypocritical? Shelby Rogers doesn't mind social media when she's being paid to promote something. She doesn't mind social media when she's fulfilling sponsorship commitments, cashing six-figure checks. Doesn't mind it then. Social media is only a problem when it doesn't go her way, when it doesn't fulfill her needs. Becky Beddix is the vice president of mental health and wellness for the WTA, the Women's Tennis Association. She came to the defense of Shelby Rogers. She said women athletes, women tennis players, are told on social media what they look like, how they perform, who they are as a person. Yeah, they do. What's your point? There is a simple solution to this problem. Get off social media. Problem solved. That's all Shelby Rogers, Sloane Stephens, that's all they have to do. Turn off the phone. Delete the app. If you can't do that because you're tied to contractual agreements, then just don't read the comments. It's not that difficult. All you have to do is not scroll down. It's that simple. But they're not going to do that. See, social media is a catch-22. I don't think social media is really all that healthy for anybody, especially mentally. I don't think most people understand social media is not real. Your 2,000 Facebook friends, 99% of which you haven't seen since high school or college, they don't post their real life on Facebook. They show you an idealized version of their life. It's the beautiful children, the smiling wife and husband, oh, the happy family. But behind that pasted on smile with the husband is a dude wondering what the hell happened to his life. He used to live a life of freedom. Now he has to sacrifice everything for his family. The wife, who was happy one day, miserable the next. The husband, who has to deal with the mood swings. Now, obviously, not every marriage is like that. There are happy marriages out there, but you get my point about social media. Social media is not real. Most people posting about how happy their life is are living miserable lives. If you're really happy with your life, you don't have time to post countless times every day to social media telling the world how happy you are. You just go about living your happy life. Social media is not healthy for anyone, like I said, but I feel like social media has really been damaging for women. Most men can be happy without attention, especially as we get older. Most dudes just want to make a living and be left the hell alone. Men want peace. A lot of women aren't like that. A lot of women seek attention. They seek validation. There are a lot of insecure women out there. And how do they make themselves feel better? They post pictures to social media, receive hundreds, sometimes thousands of likes and compliments from lonely dudes looking to get in their pants. It is false validation, though. The good feeling's only temporary. It's no different than the crack addict chasing that first high. You'll never get that rush again. But a crackhead will steal anything that's not nailed down just to chase that first high. It's the same with social media. Women athletes are no different than normal everyday women, except the attention they receive on social media is magnified. Everything is all good when the attention they're receiving is positive. When Naomi Osaka is winning Grand Slams and everyone's praising her, she's on cloud nine. When she loses and the attention shifts to negativity, she can't handle it. Naomi Osaka is only 23 years old. Now, that's just my opinion, but after covering this story for a couple of months now, I think that's what's going on with a lot of these women tennis players. There is no team in tennis. When Shelby Rogers loses, the blame is on her. She alluded to this herself. She said something to the effect that when she wins, she can't even enjoy the win anymore because she is worried about the shift of attention on social media when she inevitably loses. This is not a mental health problem. This is a social media problem. The solution, like I said, is simple. Get the hell off social media. If you have sponsorship agreements, pay someone else to post to your accounts. This really is not all that difficult. It is a simple problem to solve, but like I said, they're not going to do that because they've become addicted to the drug, attention. Let me know what you think of my theory as to why women in tennis are struggling. Do you think I'm right? They become addicted to the positive attention on social media. Then they lose, the attention turns negative, and they can't handle it. If I'm wrong, give me your theory. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.